A huge leak from Project Veritas has blown Twitter wide open. Musk and Bezos have blasted Biden's credibility and much, much more. Coming up next on TechShark. Welcome to TechShark, bite-sized news for conservatives surfing the net. So there's so much going on right now that I had to make a top 5 episode just to feel remotely caught up with all the big news that's been happening. So let's get into it. Number 5. Guerrilla journalism outlet Project Veritas reportedly exposed a senior engineer from Twitter showing why many employees may be afraid of Elon Musk. Purported senior engineer Siru Murugisan explained on camera that the company does not believe in free speech and that we're actually censoring the right and not the left. All that and more. Let's take a look.
So do you think there's a difference between Twitter's definition of free speech and Elon's definition of free speech?
Twitter does not believe in free speech. Elon believes in free speech.
What do your colleagues say about it?
They hate it. Some of my colleagues are like super left. Our jobs are at stake. He's a capitalist. So we weren't really operating like capitalist mode. We were very socialist. Like we're all like communist.
Number 4. Elon Musk spoke on an episode of the All In podcast at the expense of President Joe Biden, with one other panelist comparing Biden's presidency to Weekend at Bernie's, that famous movie about wheeling around a dead guy and pretending he's still alive while at a weekend party. Musk joked that whoever runs the teleprompter is the real president running the whole country.
Man, it's hard to tell what Biden's doing, to be totally frank. I feel like
it's Weekend at Bernie's.
The real president is whoever controls the teleprompter.
I mean, in fairness to Biden, he hasn't been napping as much as he needs to, but...
Musk also made a great observation the other day when he tweeted, Biden's mistake is that he thinks he was elected to transform the country, but actually, everyone just wanted less drama. Number 3. Jeff Bezos bludgeoned Biden for an economic blunder. Biden tweeted from his personal account on May 13th. You want to bring down inflation? Let's make sure the wealthiest corporations pay their fair share. Bezos responded, the newly created disinformation board should review this tweet. Or maybe they need to form a new non-sequitur board instead. Raising corporate taxes is fine to discuss. Taming inflation is critical to discuss. Mushing them together is just misdirection. Bezos continued to hammer the Biden administration for its atrocious economic policies in a separate tweet. In fact, the administration tried hard to inject even more stimulus into an already overheated inflationary economy, and only mansions saved them from themselves. Inflation is a regressive tax that most hurts the least affluent. Misdirection doesn't help the country. Bezos did leave out one critical point in his criticism of the Biden White House, however. Big government shouldn't be in the business of censoring at all. Number 2. Democrats make a big fuss about misinformation and how people like Trump have made Americans wary of our sacred institutions and, our experts. Well, in this case, one of the so-called experts, or adults in the room, as they say, made a huge mistake. Retired 4-star Army general and MSNBC analyst Barry McCaffrey literally shared what many have said was video game footage, claiming instead that it was a Russian aircraft getting nailed by Ukrainian missile defense. He went on to say Russians are losing large numbers of attack aircraft, Ukrainian air defense becoming formidable. Now, in response, former Marine and current Vice President of Foreign Policy for Stand Together, Dan Caldwell, noted that since then, McCaffrey deleted his tweet, but worth noting that the text at the bottom of the video clip he originally shared makes it pretty clear the video is from Arma 3 and not actual combat footage from Ukraine. Number 1. A liberal Vox writer, Ian Millhiser, wrote a positively panicky op-ed after the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit upheld a controversial Texas law against big tech censorship. NetChoice sued Texas over an anti-censorship law last year and argued that it violated the First Amendment. The appeals court overturned the injunction, and this writer at Vox News appeared to be big mad. The Texas law, in other words, would effectively turn every single major social media platform into 4chan, a cesspool of racial slurs, misogyny, and targeted harassment that the platforms would be powerless to control unless they wanted to enact such sweeping content moderation policies that their platforms would become unusable. Boo friggin' hoo. If it doesn't incite criminal activity or directly call for violence, it should be allowed. That's free speech, bub. That's a roundup for the week. Boy, have we had a lot of big news lately. Thanks for watching TechShark, brought to you by Free Speech America and MRC-TV. Have a good week.